Welcome back to another episode of Can You Dig It? On this episode, we are going back into the haul from that other half-price books. The selection wasn't as vast as that first one, but they still have more than enough to look through. So, again, if you're trying to find some records, I encourage checking out a half-price books. This first one we have today is someone I've sampled a bunch of times, Herb Alpert. And it's the Tijuana Brass Band. I've never heard this album, but I really like the artwork. The first song, or is that the first song? Well, one of the songs is called Marching Through Madrid. I don't know if that's depicted here, but that cover's hard. But let's check it out. Oh, and this say volume 2. Okay, so he got a volume 1. Let's see what they got going on here. Ole! Hell yeah. That's kind of hard. That shit makes me want to fight a bull or something. They're called bullfighters. Do you fight a bull? Because I feel like you just, like playing keep away with this hat type of thing with the bull. You ain't fighting a bull for that. Dang, I like this one right here. I really like the percussion on that. Wah, wah, wah. That sounds like some vaudeville. Hey. Hell yeah. Alright, let's look at side 2 real quick. That's crazy. Is that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, bro? Bro, after doing all these episodes of Can You Dig It, I can drop that needle right in the space before the song now. Oh yeah, a trick you can do. Say you want to hear a sample like sped up. If you want to hear a sample that's sped up, the trick I like to use is, let's say for instance, this, right? If you go from a 33 and a third, if you go from 33 and a third, which is what this record is, size-wise, to a 45, which is the smaller records, it'll play at a different RPM. So I'm going to go ahead and press this button to go from 33 to 45. So the sound we have is this, right? But then I'll hit the 45, and now it sounds like this. So you can kind of, by doing that, you can kind of preview samples and see if you like the sound of it sped up in real time. But let's go back to this triumphant drum real quick. Alright, press record. We in there. Save that input. Alright, let's get it in slice mode. We'll get that. I might only need that part. Let's just save this part real quick. Alright, we're gonna stick with what we got here. Let's slow it down first and just see. All right, we'll speed it up some more. I think I hear it though. And we gotta boost it up, so I'm gonna turn up the gain and some saturation. Still think it should be slower actually. Alright, so we're gonna boost it some more with some gain and saturation. But it got too much air on the top, so what I'm gonna do is load in an EQ quick. So when you hear it breathing, so I'm gonna cut out the low end. I'll do a high pass filter all the way up so you can hear the air that I'm trying to cut out. That you can kind of hear it. It's too much like hissing on the top, like the higher frequencies. So what I'm gonna do is try to cut that out, but I don't want to cut out too much because then I'm gonna cut out the higher frequencies of the instruments too. So we want just enough to try and get some of that air away. And then once we add like hi-hats and stuff too, it'll be over the top of the high end. So all right, I think I hear a hi-hat real quick. Let's add that in. Alright, so I want to add a compressor to the sample because the sound's too low. You can use a compressor to boost up. Also, what I like to look at compressors for doing is you can boost up highs, or you can cut down some highs and boost up lows. So the more you're engaging the compressor, the more squashed it sounds. But I just want to do is kind of even out the low lows and the high highs, and then I can use a makeup gain, which is a knob to like boost through the compressor because it's too quiet. A company called Clevgrand, they make this Corv presser, which is more visual, and it just shows you kind of like the squashing of the sound. So the input is here. So here's the input. I can go higher on the input and then squeeze the sound. See? So this is actually a really good way to kind of show you. So the input's here, and then I can kind of squeeze the sound. You'll hear all the lower sound, like the lower volume sound get boosted, and the higher volumes, like everything comes to kind of to a medium. So now if I squeeze this, it sounds like, see how it sounds too squash? You can also hear a lot more of that air that I was talking about cutting out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this, and then I'll drop that EQ to cut the air out of that one so I can get a higher signal. Alright. In Beatmaker 3, you can, in your effects down here, you can bring up your effects for that track. I want this Pro Q4 to now be after the compressor. So I'm gonna move it down, because that air, if I take it away, you can hear that air got pushed up because it was a lower sound in the audio. So we're gonna cut that out, and we're gonna use that and just start adding on the top of that. All right, let's get it. Like that, we might have to go lower, but I'll record it in first, and then I'll drop then I'll transpose it down and drop the tuning. All right, let's get it. Alright, that was I messed up on that, but I'm gonna keep it anyway. Alright. Let's get some kicks going. Add a 808 real quick. Sometimes if you can't hear the lower end and where the bass sits, if you play it at a higher octave, you can kind of make it sit with the other instruments playing. Then you can drop it down and play it. There's too many. Sometimes that less is more. Alright. And that was Herb Alpert's Tijuana Brass. I like this record overall. Keep it for the collection, for my listening pleasures. Definitely a good pickup. Great listen. Next on the docket, we have Neo Sedaka. It's called The Hungry Years. I mainly picked this up because the cover was dope, which isn't the greatest formula to have, but you got the downtown. This is 1975, but it's called The Hungry Years, so see how hungry he is. Better be good if you're hungry. Oh, dang, he got the V-cut. He got the V-cut knit. The V-cut knit with the choker regular chain, the little locket chain, but choked up. Damn, that's crazy. Like, this bangs with me, but also doesn't at the same time, if that makes any sense. Alright, next one. Okay, so he's a I Don't Let the Song Breather. Damn. Let's see. What? Alright, so it's one of these records, but we're gonna find it real quick. This man don't let nothing breathe. So we're gonna I'm gonna have to just, one of my clips on the channel, you may have heard me talk about cutting around vocals and then finding those chops and then repiecing it together. So it sounds like that's gonna be this situation. So let's just record this last one because I like the instruments and we about to get it going. Alright, so there's gonna be some pieces in here. We're just gonna have to get surgical with the cuts. Alright, we gonna say goodbye actually, bro. I bid you adieu. See, like this one. but we gotta cut him out there, so. Alright, we'll cut this one out. Okay, swooning. Alright. So right there.
Breaking up is hard to do.
It's breathing, but we might be able to use that. Sometimes cutting off certain breaths adds a little character to the sample. Alright.
Breaking up. Remember all through the night. Think of all
This one and we're good.
through.
So I needed to get at least enough to sample to play something.
Think of all. Think of all.
Alright. That's what we're running with. Tune it down. So I need that sample to come in quicker. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one, we'll go back to the sampler. Click samples and go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one. Zoom in. So we needed to hit there. Alright, we can run with this. Do a little hi-hat real quick. One more. Alright, we'll turn it down, but let's record it first. Alright, we got an open hat and I think we're good to go with this one. Alright. One more time. We only need two, so we'll get a different sounding. Alright, and I'm gonna turn the layer trigger to hold instead of one shot, so it'll stop playing when I let it go. See, like that. Alright. Alright, let me get these levels for you. Alright. That was the Hungry Years. It should have been called the Struggle Years. He sang over almost every inch of those instruments. But we were able to cut a little pieces around his vocals, and we got a little something. Alright, the last one we have is The Lotions. This cover is hard. I would wear this as like a t-shirt or something, to be honest. The color scheme and the design. But The Lotions. This better be a smooth record. It's Stork Records Incorporated, 1981, out of Austin, Texas. Dope. So, let's see what we have here. Hopefully we have something good. Alright, side A. So The Lotions is not what I thought it was. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be some smooth shit. It's The Lotions. But I should have realized, hey, you know a lot of them bands back then were the somethings. But I need to find something to sample on here though. Oh, it's only got 2 tracks. How many songs are on this? 4 songs? Alright, make this count. See what's on side B. Alright. Let's see what we can get out of this. Alright, let's see. If we go down lower. There we go. All right. Tempo's a little too fast, but we can go like that. Let's get a snare. Take off quantize. Alright, I think that'll work. Alright, so sometimes when I'm doing drums without quantize, I'll play like the whole measure. Like for instance, right? I played all them, but these ones feel off, they feel too sloppy. So I can go in and change them, but I really like just the first 2 hits. So I'll just erase the rest of them and then just copy this and duplicate it through the pattern, and they should fit with the snare. Copy the same thing with the snare, duplicate that, and they should all fit perfectly. And still have that swingy, off-grid feel. Alright, that one was a little bit of a struggle too, but that's okay, because you'll never know what you'll find out there, but it's all about, can you dig it?